Nobody saw this coming. In a major update, according to a Jets insider, there has been a lot of talk about Justin Fields' role as the starting quarterback with the New York Jets and Aaron Glenn's plans for the New York Jets quarterback position as things have now taken a turn, and also what Darren Mougey decides to do in the NFL draft will play a major part in what the Jets starting quarterback situation truly looks like after it felt like a near guarantee that it was Justin Fields. And we are going to break all of this down. So a lot to talk about. What's up, guys? Welcome back to Jets Digest. It's Chris here. And guys, if you're enjoying the content, make sure to subscribe. If you're part of that 73% that's not subscribed to Jets Digest, make sure to subscribe. We're on that push, trying to get just farther and farther up that ladder. This is the place to be for New York Jets content, but let's jump into the video. We have a lot to discuss. As the New York Jets, well, we have a major update. Is Justin Fields signed to the New York Jets to be the starting quarterback and was guaranteed a starting role. Now, according to New York Jets insider Connor Hughes, has gotten a bit of a turn. Now, look, as of right now, yes, Justin Fields is the starting quarterback of the New York Jets, but it's not as guaranteed as a lot of us initially thought. When Fields signed to the Jets, it felt like, okay, well, he's for sure the starting quarterback. It's one of the reasons why he left the Pittsburgh Steelers was the fact that he got benched for Russell Wilson, despite the fact that many of his teammates were vehemently against it and that they liked Justin Fields, and the Jets signed Justin Fields because also the personality that he is, the culture that he instills, the energy that he brings to the team, the leadership, all of these personality traits that the New York Jets love about Justin Fields. It felt like he was a mortal lock to be the starter, but recently Connor Hughes was asked about this and said that the Jets didn't sign Justin Fields to have him ride the bench. This is a bit of a transitional year, yes, but he's their lottery ticket. They knew they needed a quarterback. Fields is the most upside of any available with little financial fallback. You might find a Sam Darnold, Geno Smith-like resurgence if Tanner Engstrand can find a way to speed up Fields' processing and marry the mental part of the game with his physical attributes. You move on after the year if things don't work out that way. Now, here's the interesting thing. Justin Fields' cap hit is strange. This year it's $8 million, and the following year it's $23 million. So that does make things a little bit interesting if the Jets are going to have a guy on a massive cap hit next year not playing for the team when he is signed to a 2-year contract. That's what makes things really weird here. It's kind of weird to think about why they didn't just take the cap hit this year. That would have made more sense in the transitional year, as Hughes mentioned. So it is definitely confusing. And yeah, look, Justin Fields is going to get all the chances in the world to be the Jets starting quarterback on game one of the season. He absolutely is going to be the starting quarterback no matter what. No matter how he looks in preseason compared to Tyrod Taylor, Justin Fields is going to be the starter. Even if the Jets draft someone at 7th overall at quarterback, Justin Fields is still going to be the starting quarterback on week one. It's basically just a guarantee at this point that the Jets are going to be going with Fields for this year because of all the things that he brings to the table and the hope that he can kind of get that mental part of the game down and start throwing passes with anticipation and really getting things going and making quicker reads because he's such a good athlete. He's got a tremendous arm. It's just the mentals of it. If he could speed up the mentals, then he is going to be a very successful NFL quarterback. It's just a matter of being able to do that. Now, looking at what he also mentioned, he said, while Fields won't have to win the job per se, that doesn't mean he can't lose it. If he doesn't fit with Tanner Engstrand or struggles mightily in camp or early in the season, Hughes would expect the Jets to turn to Tyrod Taylor as there's an immense amount of respect for Taylor within the Jets locker room. He received captaincy votes as Aaron Rodgers' backup a year ago. The Jets won't ride Fields into the ground if it's not working. They will go to Tyrod Taylor, who is a great veteran leader for this team and gives the Jets stability and just a good guy to have with the team that is very much loved. Another thing is, Fields is also loved, so you also have to take that into account when discussing Tyrod Taylor and all this, and just what Aaron Glenn is going to want to do. It all depends on how the Jets work with Justin Fields. If Fields is not working, they will move on from him. They will not just sit there and let it not work. They will go to Tyrod Taylor. They'll look to Tyrod. Now, it does become very interesting when you consider this, because Taylor, I mean, I guess you could call him a bridge starting quarterback, but at this point, he just feels like more of a good veteran backup to have. Justin Fields, on the other hand, he's just had an interesting NFL career. Last year, went 4-2, had a completion percentage that was up, threw for 1,106 yards, had 7 yards per attempt, which is his average, threw 5 passing touchdowns, and had 1 interception. He played fine enough football. The Steelers, who are not really an offensively minded team last year, included especially, they still won 4-2 because of a great defense. So it shows that Fields can be the quarterback on a team that is succeeding. It's just a matter of, can Justin Fields elevate that team? And Fields, from 2021 to 23, the years that he started, those 3 years, he was second in rushing yards, only behind back-to-back MVP, not at the time, but, still a guy who was an MVP as well, in Lamar Jackson. Jackson has been unbelievable, obviously, at rushing the ball. We knew that in Louisville. We know that now. It's just very clear. They put in the same amount of games, and look, I mean, Lamar is Lamar, and there's not much else that you could say about it. But Justin Fields did have more rushing touchdowns than him. And now, given Josh Allen and Jalen Hurts had more rushing touchdowns than Fields and Jackson combined, but still, Justin Fields did have the second most rushing yards of any quarterback over that 3-year stretch as a starter, and things get really interesting when you consider that he's fourth, even counting this past season for the Pittsburgh Steelers, almost said for the Jets, but for the Pittsburgh Steelers, where he played in 10 games, but he only started and really played in 6 games, and he still manages to be fourth over the last few years from 2021 to 2024 through these 4 seasons. Fields is fourth in rushing yards. So the Jets do know they have a great rushing quarterback. It's a matter of just being able to figure out everything else. And he had 19 touchdowns over that span. Now, again, Jalen Hurts with the tush-push has 52, and Josh Allen being Josh Allen has 40. And look, Fields is still on pace with Lamar Jackson in a lot of ways. Lamar had that extra year, and, well, Lamar is far better than Justin Fields. I'm not saying that. But in the rushing aspect, Justin Fields is as good as anybody, is the point I'm trying to make here. The interesting thing about Tyrod Taylor is Taylor, who, well, didn't really play much, hasn't really played much over the past couple of years between the concussions and the weird injury situation with the Chargers, and then also just dealing with a few other just quarterbacks, essentially. It's made Tyrod Taylor mainly a backup over these past couple of seasons. He did play a bit for the Jets, not starting any games, but he did step in a few times, had 3 touchdowns thrown in that time. Yards per attempt was down, only 119 yards in the season, but again, it was very, very limited. Now, looking at Tyrod Taylor, the 3 years that he started in Buffalo, he was second in rushing yards, given that was a decade ago, so that makes things a little bit interesting. But Taylor also does have better ability to make reads than Justin Fields, so there is that. And Taylor, again, it's the presence in the locker room becomes a big part of this, and it all just dates back to really what is Justin Fields going to be looking like in this NFL season. Now, on all the topic of talking about Justin Fields and Tyrod Taylor, there is the thought of something upcoming very soon, which is the NFL draft. How will that impact things? Well, Connor Hughes talked about that. Hughes mentioned that in all likelihood, the Jets franchise quarterback is not on their roster. They need to find him. If they evaluate anyone in this class and believe they have that potential, they will take him. It's just a matter of if they feel that way. And we know they've had some infatuation with Jackson Dart, or they're throwing a massive smokescreen and pretending like they have an infatuation with Jackson Dart. On top of that, you've seen them connect with Kyle McCord a bit. We've seen them talk to Jalen Milroe. So there has been a few names that have come through, and the Jets have discussed and definitely looked at the idea of selecting them. They've obviously had conversations about Shedeur Sanders and Cam Ward, the top 2 quarterbacks in the NFL draft this season, but it feels highly unlikely the Jets will draft either of them. I don't really see either of them falling to 7th. I mean, Cam Ward will not, and it'd be surprising to see Shedeur Sanders fall that far, so it does make things very, very interesting. I mean, the Giants taking on Jameis Winston feels like a bridge option as a guy who could be a backup or start a few games before they move towards Ward or Sanders if they want to pick a quarterback. I still sort of expect the Giants to pick a quarterback where we stand right now. If they don't, they'll probably pick Travis Hunter. I saw someone tweet out that the Giants will probably pick Travis Hunter to tackle people once Jameis Winston throws an interception. But it would be interesting to see what happens there with the New York Giants, and then with all the subsequent teams as well, because we know the Patriots aren't taking a quarterback, as just a siren blows right through my window. And on top of that, we see the idea of, number 1, maybe the Titans take one. The Raiders, I mean, they have Geno, so that feels unlikely now, but maybe they still do, just probably not. It's going to be interesting to see what happens with all these quarterbacks. It's become more likely as some of the teams that have needed quarterbacks have covered some holes for the Jets. The Jets obviously, or have covered some holes for themselves at quarterback, so it becomes interesting for the Jets, who now maybe there's a bit more of a pathway for Sanders to fall to 7, given I still wouldn't want them to pick Sanders. I would just rather than pick someone else. Pick literally, I mean, part of me just wants Tyler Warren for the vibe of it, but I don't know. They have way more positions that they can cover than quarterback. When quarterback you can cover next year in the NFL draft if you land in the top 3. So you can figure that out then. But guys, let me know what you think down below in the comments. Do you want the Jets to pick a quarterback? Would you rather them go with an Armand Membo, a Tyler Warren, something like that, or a Tatori McMillan? Let me know. On top of that, is Justin Fields going to be a lock to start all season? Let me know in the comments down below. I know I didn't mention Jordan Travis. We do have a full Jordan Travis video coming out soon. As this guy who runs some really awful YouTube channel. He's got his co-host is good, but this guy runs the worst YouTube channel about the Jets on football. Like, asked Connor Hughes a question about like Jordan Travis or whatever, and we'll get on to that. I don't know. I hate that guy, though. His name's like Chris or something stupid. Have a great day and go Jets.